90 minutes since the other.
Oh, yeah, there we go. So we might be missing a Ewing, but we're going to go ahead and start because we're on the time schedule. So Dallas, as you know, originally ran 13 seasons, counting that virtual miniseries, but that was still not enough for all of us. So it got both a spinoff in the form of Knots Landing, and of course the 2012 reboot on TNT. So here are some cast members to share memories of the extension of the Dallas universe. And we are going to begin. They played mother and daughter, Lucy and Valerie Ewing on Dallas, Knots Landing and the Dallas reboot, Ms. Charlene Tilton and Joan.
Oh, I hope you can't see my spanks, okay?
Joan, join us, please, Ms. Spinoff. A seat next to your daughter. Yes. Now Lucy.
That's gorgeous, Mom.
So, of course, he starred as the all-grown-up John Ross Ewing on the Dallas reboot, Josh Henderson.
Did you get another Starbucks? JR's favorite.
That's just a cucumber lime tea.
All right. And she played Cliff Barnes' ex-wife Hagman on both versions of Dallas, Ms. Audrey Landers. We're waiting for Mr. Ray Krebs, but to round out this panel, yes, after marrying JR on the original Dallas, with turned up at his funeral on the reboot, Miss Cathy.
I think Steve might be waiting.
I'm going to start, it's out of order, I'm going to start here with Steve's reaction. But on the reboot,
Oh, I'm frisky. I'm caught.
let's move it is frisky today. It's the last game, let's have fun. So on the reboot, Lucy and Ray were seen together so often that people started to suspect that despite the familial circumstances, they got back together. Did you ever think about that possibility that maybe it was a mistake? That somebody wasn't really a Ewing heir and you guys were living some kind of life together?
I did mention to Cynthia Cedra that I said, you know Lucy is a big shareholder of Ewing Oil. She said, not in this. Oh, wow, okay. And then they had sent the script to Steve and I, and he called me and he said, we're getting, the script's coming, and we were so excited to read it. And then we got a copy of the first episode of Reboot, and he said, what is this? He goes, we're not even in this. He goes, I'm not doing this. And I said, well, hold on. I said, I felt the same way at first. I said, then I took a minute and I prayed about it. I said, here's what I think we should do. I said, I think we should just go and be there, and because literally Ray and Lucy showed up at I think whatever it was, a barbecue.
Weddings,
Yeah, the wedding, and we literally had 2 lines or something. And I said, let's just go and be loving and supportive, and if they need a coffee, we'll bring them a coffee or something. And he says, oh, okay. He goes, yeah, you're always a better person than me. And I said, no, let's just go. And on the way home, Steve's wife, Brent, and I, and Steve were all at the airport. He said, thank you for talking me into doing this. He said, I had the best time. I said, wasn't it great? And we loved being a part of the reboot, to get to see this one here who, oh boy, this guy did it, Josh Henderson. He had some big shoes to fill, and he did great. And Steve and I ended up having a great time. And at one point they asked if I was going to come back a little bit more. At that time I was doing a TV show in London and I couldn't come back, so.
Well, I wanted to ask, just to find out what happened to Lucy, what Ray was doing in his life. In your mind, did Lucy end up with Mitch? What is she doing? What is she doing in 2024?
I don't know.
Let's believe up something.
I don't know. Let's think about that.
Is she a businesswoman? Is she a mother?
I don't know. She's Miss Ellie's age back at the ranch. Talking to all of you.
Hey, maybe we became best friends.
Oh, I love that.
Okay?
The Acton and Lucy show.
I mean, look, stranger things have happened. My daughter married JR's son in the reboot, okay? That was pretty crazy.
You were great in the reboot, actually. You were fabulous in the reboot.
I had a lot of fun. And,
Yeah.
and the cast of the reboot, Josh, of course, they were just so beautiful. And they were so talented. And it was great. We all wish that we could have had, a bigger part of the storyline. There was so much potential, I thought. So much potential to bring back some of the original characters and to weave them into the story as they began with, my daughter, JR's son. I mean, how crazy was that?
Well, the fans always want more. We certainly would have loved to have seen more. There were so many great new characters we were discovering. Josh, I want to ask you, what did it mean to you when you found that some of the original cast was going to be coming in for appearances for the big events?
Well, I mean, I was just, when I got cast, I had grown up watching the show, and I was from Dallas, and it was a big part of our family, and so when I heard it was coming back, some of you may have heard the story, but I just had this odd feeling. My agent said, hey, they're bringing Dallas back, not knowing the kind of attachment that I had grown up with the show, and as soon as I got that audition, I go, I think I'm gonna get this. And what was weird is I just had a weird feeling, right? I guess I did. I mean, because I remember going, I know there's going to be a lot. They probably saw 500-600 actors for that role. And I went in and I knew that it was going to be a big deal, and I couldn't believe it was coming back. And Cynthia told me later on, we were in the middle of shooting season 1, she came up to me and she goes, you don't know this, I couldn't tell you this, but right when you walked out after your first audition, she goes, that's the guy.
Wow.
You've seen him else. So it was really, really cool, but then I knew, okay, holy, I can't believe I'm doing this, right? And I cannot wait to see all the people from the original. That's what I was so excited about, and we could not do the show without all you guys. We really couldn't. And so I didn't know how, all I knew was the pilot script, but, and my first thought was, I'm really intimidated. I gotta play ball with Harry Hagman. I gotta go in, and this is real now. Like, he's, the most infamous television character of all time, and to play his son, I was nervous, and as soon as we got to set day 1, it clicked. First take, and Larry looked at me and goes, yeah, we're gonna have some fun. And we did. And so, and what an honor for me to be able to be a part of this and get to be able to be in the same company as all these people. So it's just a blessing.
You did an amazing job. I can't imagine anyone as John was.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Many years of playing mother and daughter. How did you first find that relationship as actresses? And there was just something about it, I don't know, we felt we wanted you to be together. And you sometimes came to Southfork, we got to see you together. You went to Knots Landing once for a visit. But what was it about the relationship that you guys found as actresses?
It was easy, and here's a sexy, gorgeous little blonde.
Yeah.
Mama wants a blonde, and Joan wouldn't have it any other way. Gary turns out, and that's the odd thing. Ted Shackelford pinch-hitted, so to speak, because David Aykroyd had originally done the part, but he was busy doing a long form, a couple, 3 things at Universal, 2-hour movies, back to back to back to back. And so Ted and I did a Wonder Woman together, dressed in things that made us, at least made Ted look like a giant condom, which is, not that romantic, but...
Were you aliens? Were you playing aliens?
Something that was out of this world.
Right.
But in certain ways, and in other ways not so much. But they called me and said, we're going to, as I well knew, they were going to spin-off a show called Knots Landing. Yeah. And they said, we've just seen a guy, an actor named Ted Shackelford, what do you think? And I said, no, I can't possibly. We are too much alike. We were crazy on the set. He was constantly always making jives, jokes, or whatever, the whole 9 yards. And I said, it would never work. I'm high energy, he's high energy. Only dogs would hear us. It wouldn't work at all unless it's a kennel that's going to be watching us. So what happens when we go in for the table read? I get in there, sit down at the table, look across, and there's Ted Shackelford, whom I love with all my heart, or I do. He's special. We have become the closest of friends. Every birthday, he sends me a Casablanca, like a silo almost of water. It's just huge. I know it must be at least $5,000 each time. No, it feels like that, and makes me feel like a queen. But we exchange. We are 1 week apart. I'm June 16th, and he's 7 days later. My husband, John Marshall, former NBC newscaster, he is the same in that he is July 16 and I'm June 16. And they say that the greatest love stories are those that are connected in some way like that. So Ted is that in my heart and soul for the acting version of my hubby. And my real hubby is home waiting for me now.
Well, please, on behalf of all the Dallas fans, tell Ted we love him, and we would love to see him back at Southfork next time he's here.
Thank you.
We can certainly feel that love between Valley and Lucy in the 6th ever episode of Knots Landing. It's called Home is for Healing. Let's take a look.
What happened the last couple of days was that we all had plans. You and Mama were going to be little girl and tender mother. And I was going to be a father, capital F. Well, I guess we just forgot to get to know each other.
Daddy.
I said no credit cards because using your grandfather's credit cards would screw up your values and our future as a family. What I should have said was, please don't use the credit cards because it makes me feel better.
Daddy, I get it.
What?
You were right. We forgot to get to know each other.
Stay, Lucy. Stay the way.
Hey, you know what I want to do now?
What?
I've been dreaming of doing this ever since we moved in here.
What, Mama?
Go running in the ocean with you.
Well, we've been walking in it.
No, I mean really in it, up to your knees and running.
It's too cold.
Oh, no, it isn't. Not.
Come on, honey. It's too cold.
Hey, it's only cold for a minute.
Every time you and Ted shot at that beach, there was some special thing that was going to happen.
Right.
And having Lucy there as well really just made it unforgettable. Oh, I got chills. I got chills.
The trio. And the thing is that this is a picture I've had in my own home office. And Ted, one of the birthdays, I knew he loved that photo and wasn't able to get a hold of it for whatever reason. And I ended up giving it to him. And I called him for this to say, could I just borrow it? Because I thought, well, I won't bring knots into it, but here we are.
Yeah.
And it's a deep, deep part. The fact of the ocean, the water together, the three of them. And it's a great photo because it's like a freeze frame. And all three Ewings are in stride going down the California beach.
Was it cold, Charlene? Was it too cold to go in? Do you remember?
It doesn't, I don't
No,
think
not
so.
at all.
No, there was something about that, even if it did, that is right.
Yeah.
Just, I got a little verklempt still, you know, looking at that because there was such genuine emotion and connection of our little one. And
Well,
we're back together as a family.
And we always loved when Gary and Val came back to Dallas. I always loved those episodes. And of course they had to be here for Lucy's wedding. So we're going to look at one more clip with you guys, and that's Lucy's wedding to Mitch Cooper. Let's have a look.
It's almost time, Lucy.
Before you go, darling, there's an old tradition that we have to keep. And for something old, you're wearing your grandma's wedding dress. And for something new, silly, your daddy and I bought you these for your wedding. Mama, they're beautiful. Oh, thank you, Mama. Oh, you're welcome, darling. Mm. And something borrowed. I was holding this handkerchief the day Bobby and I were married. I want you to have it, baby. Thank you, Pam. And a bride without a blue garter just isn't a bride. For you, Lucy. Sue Ellen, thank you. Mama, would you put this on? Sure, darling. Here. We'll dress up there. There you go. Okay. It's time, baby. I love you, Mama.
We saw a little of what you remember yesterday.
Yeah, that actually was my first day ever on the set because Lucy was marrying my brother, Mitch, and I showed up from Biloxi with a gold digger's heart and kind of got into bed with JR during the wedding. So it was, it was a big first day for me, meeting everybody under those circumstances. So it was crazy times.
And while we're talking, yes, please.
I'm going to tell you, I'll tell you a little tidbit about that day.
Tell me.
So, the morning of this wedding, we knew there were cranes, it was a big shoot, there was a lot going on. And I was driving to the studio early in the morning, and I was driving on Willoughby near Fairfax, and somebody ran a red light and T-boned me, sped through a red light and T-boned me, and I had a horrible car accident that morning.
Oh.
And they called the ambulance, and the paramedics, and I was okay. I hit my head really hard, but they called the paramedics, and I said, I said, no, you don't understand. I have to go to MGM. I'm getting married today. They said, it's your wedding day, you're getting married. I said, no, on TV. And they were insisting, and I had a friend that lived a block away, so I had them go to my friend's house, and I insisted, and my friend came, and they drove me to the studio in the ambulance instead of the house.
Oh my God.
That's funny.
They said, okay, we're only letting you go, and they had somebody stay. If someone stays because she's got a concussion, she cannot fall asleep, she can't close her eyes, she can't lay down. And I said, it's okay, I'm just walking with them. And so I literally My car was totaled, and I had had this horrible accident, made it through, and that night, Victoria, principal, after the shoot, she didn't live far from me, and she took me to her house, and I spent the night at her house. But I had a horrible car accident the day that we filmed that one.
Your biggest episode probably ever. Your biggest
The biggest episode ever, and all I could do, they had to make sure I was standing or sitting up straight the whole time. I couldn't even relax.
Well, we never would have known it. You made a beautiful bride. That's incredible. Incredible. Well, we're talking about weddings. I wanted to ask Cathy what you remember about JR and Cally's wedding.
2.
Oh, yeah.
It's loud, sorry. So I remember the first wedding was the Haleyville wedding, and that was filmed here, and I was dying inside. I just couldn't believe it. I was pinching myself. It was so much fun. And then I love that they wrote that Cally wanted a real proper wedding in Southfork, and so got to marry him twice. And I have my wedding dress somewhere. I moved a couple of years ago, but I have that second one somewhere. Good keepsake. I did not steal it. The wardrobe lady said I could have it, just so you know.
And Josh, what was your favorite Dallas 2.0 wedding?
Let's see. So the first episode we had Christopher and it was Christopher and Pamela, right? I think in the first in our episode in our reboot. But I just love the fact that we couldn't have anything. That even the celebration day was always there was going to be a fight, an argument, a black eye, a drink thrown on somebody, someone in the pool. Or it's
I got to slap you in the face.
That reminds me, Larry actually, we had a scene with Larry where he goes, "No, I promise you I'm not going to hit you, okay? So just don't move your face. You're going to keep it right there. You're going to keep it right there." I was like, "Yes, sir, I will." First time that we even got like a little tussle, Larry slapped the hell out of me. And all they needed was one take. I didn't realize that he had talked to the director beforehand and said, "I'm going to hit the heck out of this kid." And he gave me, he whack, and the reaction was and so the slap stuff is real in the show sometimes. And Larry laughed and he goes, "Hey, you know how to take a good slapping." And they said cut, we moved on. But I just love the fact that even on a wedding day, or any kind of big moment on the show in Dallas, there's nothing out of the ordinary that can happen. And that's what makes the show so much fun to watch and keeps you on your toes. So it was a lot of fun.
Okay, wait a second. You got to hear this. But that is crazy because when JR sent my mama away, and there was early on, and there was a big scene where I had to come in, a very famous scene where I had to come and slap JR across the face. And I said, "I get to slap you," and he says, "Little Niecy," he says, no, here's how we're going to do it. I'm teaching you, it's called a stunt slap. I said, I've never heard of that. He goes, you're going to say, I was as far away as I am from Audrey Landers. And he says, now you're just going to go, and he said, it's called acting, and you're going to go like this, and act with all your might, it's in your face, and you're going to slap me, and my head's by the camera, and I'm going to whip around and act like I've been slapped. I was this close. He was such a chicken. You know what? I was this far away, and he really slapped you. Oh, Larry. Shame on you, Uncle Larry.
It was fun. I thought it was funny, and of course he had to go, "Welcome to show business."
Shame on you, Uncle Larry. He made me stand 15 feet away from him.
And I didn't hit you in the face. I did not. I just kind of got you in the back.
It was. I love it.
And you deserve it.
Podewell Keck has lost control.
Well, in the time we have left, we're going to just kind of run a clip super reel to get all these great clips in, and then we'll get a reaction to what we see. So let's run them through. Yep.
Charlene!
Oh, long time, Bobby.
Oh, it's good to see you.
Oh, thank you.
Lucy, you didn't tell me your mama was going to be here.
I didn't know. Well, it was, kind of last minute.
Hey, Gare. Gare, look who's here.
Charlene, what are you doing here?
I'm going to freshen up my coffee. Lucy, you want to get a cup?
I'd love some.
Once a bitch, always a bitch.
Yes, it has been a long time. It's good to see you too.
You just called me to Dallas to humiliate me. You are just as sadistic as JR ever was.
I called to see if I could get you and Gary back together again.
Oh, please. Gary is buying your wounded bird drunk routine, and he's a good enough man to try to save you, but I know that you're just trying to get your hooks into him.
I don't want your husband.
He may not come back to me, but I can promise you, I am not leaving Southfork until I show him what a manipulative monster you are.
We have another wedding. It's Afton and Cliff's daughter's wedding, and this is a scene of Sue Ellen versus Afton.
What kind of man does this to a woman? I guess the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, huh, Sue Ellen? After all the despicable things JR did to you through the years, I would think you'd have taught your son better than this.
Just so you know, Afton, the most despicable thing JR ever did was you.
How dare you? How dare you?
Let's try and compose ourselves. For Pamela.
You own the scene with John Ross, Pamela, and Afton in a hospital room.
Doctors are gonna figure a way out of this for you. You got 9 lives, Pamela Barnes.
Mom. Oh, my baby girl. What are you doing here? John Ross called me. And he certainly couldn't have called your father. I heard what he did at JR's memorial. He's a mean drunk, that man. You know, you're even more handsome than your father. And I'm guessing smarter. Nicer, too. Still a touch of the devil.
Daddy always said that's the part that makes it more interesting.
Will you take that part and the rest of you out of here? I need some time alone with my daughter. Thank you for the call.
2 last clips, another Southfork wedding. This is Christopher's wedding, and it's a scene with Charlene and Steve.
Uncle Cliff's not gonna be able to make it. JR's not doing so well either.
Count your blessings, Christopher. Those 2 old geezers would still find a reason to fight. The Barnes and the Ewings never did get along, right, Ray?
Is that so? Then what about Pam and me, Lucy?
Uncle Bobby! Oh.
Guess you'd have to be the exception.
Hello, Ray.
You look good, Bob.
So do you. Son, everybody, I'd like you to meet Miss Marta Del Sol.
Hi. Hello. Nice to meet you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
We have been discussing my selling Southfork to her father's conservancy.
Hey, Dad, can we talk?
Excuse me, one moment.
Excuse us.
And lastly, Cathy, this is for you. This is County's return to Southfork for JR's memorial.
Hi there, Bob. So JR says to Miss Ellie, old Ray's gonna be just great in the ranching business. He might even be able to tell one end of the horse from the other.
I can top that. When I married Mitch, JR said, why don't you have that junior plastic surgeon you married design you a new face? One without a mouth.
Right, Bobby.
Bobby. I don't know what to say.
JR's really gone. I just keep thinking somehow he's gonna show up again. Well, he's not.
Oh my gosh, would you look at those photos?
You know, Sue Ellen, it's your fault I married him.
Don't blame me. You wanted him something fierce, as I recall.
We all did. What's wrong with us?
All right, let's face it. He was as bad as they come, but he was as hot as hell.
He was as hot as hell because he was as bad as they come. You're the lucky one, Sue Ellen, because you made your peace with JR. I always envied how you got over him. To be honest, I don't think I ever really did.
Well, I had the benefit of many years of him lying and cheating on me. That made it easy.
Drinks, ladies?
Urban and Branch.
Thank you. Toss one back, ladies.
Ma'am?
No, thank you.
Now, I included this last little bit because there's a guy in the background, Sue Ellen and Gary. That guy on the right is me. I got to live my fantasy by attending JR's I got to tell you quickly, it wasn't planned. I wore black to the set, just in case, and I was missing my flight from LA. And as I was screaming as they were closing the door, I said, "Please hold on, I'm going to my uncle's funeral." And then they let me on, or I would have missed JR's funeral. But I got to see all of you that day. And I want to ask, the last line we heard from you and Mandy Winger was about JR. And I want to know if we all agree with Callie and Mandy that JR Ewing and John Ross were as hot as hell because they were as bad as they come. Do we agree with that? During this past weekend, have you felt Larry's presence with you all? Have you?
I have. I mean, when I first saw Southfork yesterday, I got really weepy because I'm just even thinking about it. Yeah, I have felt him. I love him and I miss him, and he was. And if you got to meet him, you're the luckiest people because he was a great guy. Yeah, I don't know why I'm getting emotional, but yes. So yes, the answer, yes.
I said something 2 hours ago. We were walking the grounds for a second, and I go, "What in the world was that?" Literally, I'm by myself, kind of just walking just down the road right behind this wall here, and I go, "Larry, what are you doing? What are you up to?" I swear I just said it. My girlfriend will tell you. We were walking. I said, "What is going on here?" And so I definitely felt him. And last night I thought he was just kind of laughing and going, "I can't wait to see this kid running around on stage with a mic in his hand, dancing and singing." And it really has. I felt him here all weekend. I just think this is really special. So.
These past 3 days, the presence of two. I feel also that these last 3 days have brought out the most emotional and the deepest and the truest feelings that we all had on various levels because we were so connected, and Larry is such a key part of that. I had a key chain thing that I put in when I put my car keys in the ashtray in our kitchen every night when I come home. I have this thing, don't worry, be happy, feel love. I mean, that's for a villain, and that's why we loved him, as bastardly and awful as he could be. We loved the man, he's the man you love to hate. And he's here, and he's been here these last 3 days. Amen.
Well, I think we can all agree that this has been a very special weekend. You gave us all a gift, and I like to think that all of us gave a gift to Mr. Hagman, and as Patrick says, wherever he is. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you to
Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much.
Okay, we're going to rush them over to the